everybody, welcome back to Hamster's Hobby Hang. I'm happy to be back. I missed a week.
We're happy to have you. But we all, missed you. Missed a week.
Oh, that's right.
Huh?
I mean, we missed a week anyway, just because we weren't feeling it last week. But
Right.
how's everybody doing today? Wow, there's a lot. Finley's here. Oh, Andrew's here. DMN Games is here. Talon's here.
Yeah, we're trying out some music here, team.
Yeah, we're actually gonna try to. We've been talking about like how to pump everything up, and music seems like such a big part of hobby streams, and we just haven't been doing it. So we're like, let's just actually do some music.
Right.
So.
Are we listening to Pink Floyd?
Yeah, you guys can hear it, unfortunately.
It's gonna be eerie when we all sync up to certain parts of like money and stuff like that, just like Dark Side of the Moon.
Everybody put the wall on backwards, right? Or Dark Side of the Moon on backwards right now, and just wait for certain things that Hamster says to line up with it.
I think it's normal. It's not backwards.
I thought you play it back. Wait, that's right. You listened to, was it a Beatles album backwards? And it was like
Beatles album, but most importantly, it's Led Zeppelin's song "Stairway to Heaven" backwards. It's supposed to be like the satanic one.
Remember, While My Guitar Gently Weeps? There's like, he keeps saying, "Oh, Paul" at the end. It means
Paul?
The Paul is dead theory. Yeah, the Paul is dead theory is wild. I think that's the most fascinating thing about this is copyright-free music, right? Like you're specifically using.
Royalty free? Yeah, this is like app made
Man,
for
what if we get the entire Dwarven Forge channel just obliterated tonight? What if?
Yeah. No, this is a specific app for streamers to play music from.
Okay.
So I don't know what's on it. I hit the chill section.
Hopefully that's all in the clear. It's a weird thing, right? Where like it basically has to be non-licensed music in the first place.
Yeah.
Because there's even streamers who have like paid licenses to use licensed music in their streams, and they've still gotten like struck for it.
That's weird. I mean, it's just like a computer. It's not a person looking into it. It just like hears it and it's like, screw you.
Did you see what they said today?
No, I didn't. I just got an email that was from Twitch that the subject line was like DMCA, and I was like, oh crap, am I banned for no reason? And they were like, yeah, we made a post about this, so then they scared me.
Yeah, I haven't read the email yet, but I saw their tweet. They're basically like, you know what you should do is just turn off the game audio, and then if there's music in the game, it can't keep you banned. It's like,
what?
Yeah. It's funny, like we've all complained about YouTube's like copyright ID policy for a very long time. For good reason, there's some serious problems with it. But it is odd for that to be like the preferable system.
The suggestion,
right
yeah.
Yeah. Twitch is blowing it pretty bad right now.
Yeah, Harris, the last song was actually Harris Heller. It was on this Pretzel Rocks app.
Pretzel Rock?
Yeah, it's called, the app is called Pretzel Rocks. I don't know what that means, but...
Oh, Pretzel Rocks. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I know of a lot of people that use that, actually. So that should be okay. Well, I think most of my stream friends use it. Harris Heller on Spotify has a bunch of DMCA/Twitch-friendly playlists. Good to know. If you're using soundtrack from Twitch, I heard the VODs get muted, only provides performance license, doesn't extend to VODs. Ah! Why are they making this so hard? Like, I understand copyright law and all that, but like the whole thing with fair use is like the reason it all exists is to prevent like market substitutes and competition from happening. Somebody having this song under their stream, or like a licensed song that is part of a game, like playing during the game, that's not hurting the market at all. Like,
Right.
it's not a substitute. It's not a market substitute. Music is maybe a little loud, Vertex says. Apparently, the lead guitarist of Dragon Force, who was playing his own music on stream, was banned for it.
Jeez.
using NC Sound on YouTube to have a better chance to not have my VODs get muted. The audio library on YouTube has been very useful. Honestly, I edit for some YouTubers now and then, and that was always like a big struggle. Was like, generally speaking, they would talk about movies or games, and so you want to use the soundtrack from those things, but it's a copyright mess. I don't really care for my own like stuff that I edit because I'm not trying to make money on YouTube, but when I edit for other YouTubers, I've had to like use the audio library, and there's actually like a really good selection on there. It's I remember when they first started, I feel like when they first started, it used to be pretty bad. Like the options that they had weren't very good. Wow, that's like a really dark green. Oh, right. So what are we painting today?
Well, we decided to come up with a theme, so we all talked about what we had in the queue, and we decided it's Tough Cookie.
Ooh.
We got tortoise folk happening. We got
Oh, wow.
a heavily armored shield dwarf. And Mace was doing something with tortoise, but the idea might have changed. But it's something Tough Cookie themed.
Yeah. It is. It's still tough cookie. I promise. But so the issue I'm having is my apartment is incredibly dark, as a lot of the people watching can probably tell, and it's hard to paint with this light. And it's even harder to do quality checks on painting. So I'm going to grab a lamp from work next week for it so that I can actually paint with it. But I'm just doing Procreate today. DMN games, I'm fine. I'm concentrating, and my concentrating face probably looks the same as my student stressing face. So
Oh my god.
I'm doing okay.
College finals, man. Never. Thank God those are behind me.
I never.
I still have nightmares.
So I never went to like a college. So I never did like the traditional finals situation. I feel like I just ended up having a lot more drama.
Well,
Like-
I was in the liberal arts school's theater program, so I had finals and the drama.
Right, yeah, because that means you still had to take like regular classes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the conservatory, I mean, like we didn't get an education. I feel like I need a darker green than this. I'm trying to paint it with a color scheme similar to a yellow-bellied tortoise. This is
Ooh.
specifically for
Color
this is specifically for an important NPC in our game. Because I've kind of been doing that. I've been painting a lot of minis that I think we'll actually use in the game. Hey Heath, how you doing? Down under, man. I want to go to Australia at some point. I have so many Australian friends. I think usually because I end up living on their sleep schedule more often than not.
I hear that.
So many of the nicest people I know are from Australia or New Zealand.
I want to move to New Zealand very badly, but they don't want anything to do with Americans right now, and I agree, and that's why I want to move there.
And you blame them. Yeah. I guess that's the thing is like if you can swear off your American past, we'll let you into New Zealand.
I'm just so classically American.
That is true.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
You dress and act like a National Lampoon film.
Oh my god, that's
No.
so insulting!
That's not insulting.
God!
It's not insulting.
Yes, it is!
Don't act like you don't intentionally try to act like an animal.
I'm hearing Mace's genuinely insulted voice right now.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up!
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Oh my god. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care.
You intentionally try to like look and act like a frat bro.
I don't know if frat bro is the thing.
You cannot tell me that you're not going for Animal House.
I am not going for Animal House, and I can tell you that with 100% confidence. I have never been this insulted in my entire life.
I really thought you would like Animal House.
I hate Animal House. with all of my being. I cannot believe you right now. I think I'm signing off on Hobby Hang early, guys. Like, that was the final straw.
No.
I can finally.
That was
Yeah, Topula says, well, and Chris isn't on the next Hobby Hang. We know what happened.
Chris suddenly doesn't appear in any more content.
so rude. Ugh.
I feel like this is a better darker. I just mixed. It turns out you just mix green with a drop of black, and you get a darker green.
I'll do it.
Oh, see, now you've offended people, Mace. First off, Odin Forge wants to know what's wrong with Animal House.
Oh my god. Where do I begin?
You're kind of insulting one of our greatest achievements here.
Greatest
Animal
achievements,
House?
huh?
Yeah. You know the best part of
You
all
like National Lampoon. You're telling me that you like National Lampoon.
You know the best part of all of this? I have never seen Animal House.
It's not good. Like, I'm sorry to all the people in chat that like it. Like, I feel like there's different opinions and everything. I like horrible movies too. Other people love, but
Yeah, if it's
I'm
bad, it seems
genuinely-
like you would love it.
But it's the bad. It's like it's
That's so weird
was
about
so
it. Usually when something is bad.
classic.
That's what's so weird about it is usually when something is bad, Mace is all about it.
No, but it's bad and everybody hyped up, everybody loves it. I love the Belushi brothers, both of them. So I was like going into it. Also, I had references already in my head where it's like Toga, like I was so ready for it. And I will admit I am kind of a frat boy, but not like on purpose. I just think I'm a bro in life. But I watched it and I've never been so bored. And like I get that it was prolific in the time because it was like the first college movie and the first like kind of like it was comedy and it was like so like new and edgy at the time that it came out. But when I saw it, I fell asleep so many times. I was forced to watch it again so many times. And I'm now to the point that like Chris and I aren't actually friends anymore.
Wow.
Man, we are really making up for last week already here. We're just hot off the press here.
Yeah.
I guess that is the thing with comedies that in their time were known for being transgressive or for being edgy or pushing the envelope. They really don't age all that well because then once the envelope's been pushed, it's like it loses its appeal, and then next generation, it's just not that they don't get it, you know. Which is kind of the there's a couple comedies that are like that. There's this one called The Russians Are Coming. The Russians Are Coming. That was a satire of the Cold War, or like during Cold War times. And man, yeah, you try to watch it now, it's just boring. It's just really boring. But like at the time, you know, at the time, that was like, oh man, this is like some envelope pushing like political commentary. It's not that none of it like holds up. Some of it does hold up. Dr. Strangelove holds up, but I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, I'm not even. If I were to be asked to watch Animal House again and it were a group of people and everybody wanted to watch it, I wouldn't say no. I just think that I'm more insulted by the fact that Chris thinks that that's what I'm going for. That sucks.
It's like I'm just genuinely offended that this is what you think of me.
Yeah. Which, like, fine, whatever. I'll just think mean things about you back.
Oh no.
It's fine, you'll get used to it. You probably already got used to it.
changes.
Nothing changed.
Oh man. Revenge of the Nerds was my first college movie as a kid. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds, like, if you watch it now, it's like, really? I think this was a big deal. It's just because, you know, like, a lot of that stuff wasn't normal at the time.
Yeah, definitely, I recognize that in its time, it would have been very, it's a huge step in film, obviously, and that's cool, and I respect what it's done, but I've never really liked the college setting movie thing, mostly because it's played out now. I know that at its time it would have been like really cool, especially for people in that age range, to see a movie that's like targeted towards them and is like breaking molds and everything. But that and Caddyshack. I'm not a huge Caddyshack fan. I love Lampoon's books. I
Yeah.
like Board of the Rings, and they came out with one about the
Yep.
Hunger Games, and that one was really good. I think they had one about Twilight too, and I loved all of those. But like the actual movies, it's very painful for me.
Caddyshack has like a couple good scenes, but it's a lot of it's not that. And yeah, and a lot of it is just that the line has shifted.
I do like the Christmas movies they have.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Those have aged fairly well. I think because those movies weren't as built around like being like shocking or transgressive. There's definitely still parts of it, but man, we were watching a lot of early Chevy Chase like SNL stuff a couple days ago.
Is it good?
Yeah, there's just a lot of like really good. It was a different time, you know, for Weekend Update where it was all delivered like very deadpan.
Mm.
And at the same time, with Chevy Chase, like there was still like these sight gags, and you'd see him like smirking at you, and just like staring you in the face as he did like a really dumb sight gag.
Hence the music might still be a little bit loud. I watch so many Chevy Chase movies. I only know him from Lampoon, but a lot of people say that my dad looks like him, including Aaron from like Work.
I have a really
Like a
hard
shorter
time.
version, like a really short.
I have a really hard time reconciling uh, young Chevy Chase with old Chevy Chase.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they're different.
They look so different to me.
I mean, maybe that's the Beatles' Paul of the Lampoon,
Chevy Chase actually
or
died.
the the Avril Lavigne.
Wait, is there a thing about Avril Lavigne dying?
Yeah, there's a I forget what her new stand-in's name in, but there is there's heavy lore about Avril Lavigne no longer being alive and her being
what?
replaced by somebody.
What a
Yeah.
bizarre what a bizarre person to pick for that.
I mean, you find the people with the most changed faces, and you kind of go from there. I think.
That's fascinating. Like I think about Avril Lavigne very rarely. Uh, which is funny because my stepdad, who is all about like metal and stuff like that, that's like all he would listen to is like Disturbed and Drowning Pool and Slayer and then Avril Lavigne. He like,
Obviously.
really liked Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, naturally. Okay.
She's a rocker. It might just been that it was a thing
Yeah.
where he still felt like he's like, okay, yeah, this is rock. This music goes hard. I can still get behind this. But it was also like poppy enough that like my mom was into it
Mm.
because she by no means she by no means was into metal. The closest she got to liking metal was like Sheryl Crow. So she's very much a soft rock kind of person. Bay City Rollers, Styx, REO Speedwagon.
Oh, I love Styx.
She drummed in a band that did like Styx covers and stuff when she was in high school.
Sick. Your mom's cool.
Yeah, the band's name was Green Light, with light spelled LYT.
Hey.
Oh, new age.
Yeah, and she sold the drum set when she got pregnant with me because she's like, well, I guess we won't have any use for this drum set anymore. And that I think about that every now and then and just get real sad.
Oh.
Right, because you want to drum?
Yeah, actually, if I ever, it's probably the instrument I'm the most interested in learning, but it's also kind of the hardest one to manage space wise. You can get
For
like
real.
drum pads and stuff like that, but
You might
I feel
want to try out like a synth board because you can make pretty good drum beats from synth noises, and then you have a very big variety. And it's not the same as like being able to kick and like slam and all that stuff, but
and that's
like
the thing is like
you
yeah,
can even do it, like
You should beatbox.
it's that I like the act of drumming. Like the moments where I have gotten to like use a drum set have been very fun. Um, and you know, I've learned a little bit of guitar, I've learned harmonica, and a couple other things, but I still feel like drumming is where I would be the happiest. But it's just a very difficult thing to manage in a Brooklyn apartment.
Also, finding which instrument you like best after you've tried a few is very hard too, because it's like you want to be the master immediately, and that's never going to happen if you don't have patience.
Yeah.
Really, that's my story, I guess. But I feel like a lot of people have that same issue.
I gotta remember that the music I'm listening to is not the same music that you are listening to, Hamster.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what this is. I can tell you it's called Holding On by Philip Berry and Nathan Bruh Ellipsis.
Bro, I love my bra Nathan.
I'm listening to Portuguese David Bowie covers.
Oh.
From Life
From
Aquatic.
Life Aquatic, yeah. That album that So George did.
Good album.
The Prestige probably holds up. The Prestige is not. The Prestige isn't really like an '80s college movie. Chevy Chase is the king of deadpan and body humor, not fart jokes, moving your body in a funny way. Yeah, there's like a lot of really fun stuff he would do with with just his like cards on Weekend Update that were pretty good. Let's see, high school. Social Redemption. And he crawled through 500 yards of blank smelling fountains. I was thinking we were talking about 80s or earlier kind of movies. Oh, we were talking specifically about like the rush of like edgy like college movies basically. That at the time were like these really like people would get like up in arms about you can't put that stuff on television. But you look at it now and like it's by no means actually by today's standards an edgy thing at all. But, you know, I think I got the base skin color down on this dude. It's a good dark green. And he's gonna have,
You got a little black and green mixture going on over there?
yeah.
Nice.
I think that's all I need of that for now. Because then the big thing is putting bright yellow stripes over, like, the face and stuff. And then I gotta do the shell. Oh, I should look specifically at what colors are on the shells too. I feel like the shell could be like a very complex thing. And then the robe is gonna be, I want to do like a burnt orange.
Cool.
I want it to look like a sunset. And it's actually a fairly simple model. The more I look at it, I think yellow-bellied turtles, judging by the name, would have a yellow belly. Yeah, same bright yellow. Oh, so their shell is the same dark green as their skin, but it has yellow stripes around the fascinating. Okay, no, the shell's actually more brown on some of these.
I saw
brown shells to make it stand out more.
I saw a video today on the internet about a little turtle who was born with its heart exposed. It didn't grow any shell, but a kind owner nursed it and took care of it, and now it is living well.
It sounds like a metaphor.
Awesome.
And it still has part of its heart exposed, but it has a special tank and everything, and it's very happy.
Yo, they gave that turtle a tank? That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, he's cruising down the street.
Have you heard about the turtles that like lose the use of their legs? So then, I forget where it was, but like they have their front legs that still work, but then their owner put them up on a Lego car kind of track thing, like they like their bottom down.
Like what they'll do for like corgis and stuff. That I think I saw like
It's
a
like a
doctor
wheel
that was missing
made
its
out
back
of
legs.
legs.
I think I saw like a
Yeah.
doctor that was missing its back legs, and so they made a little cart for it on its back end.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
think I'm gonna start with the yellow here. So it makes the most sense. Chopping Mall. Who did
I
hear?
love Chopping Mall. Who's talking about Chopping Mall?
Eldritch Alchemist brought it up. I think Chelsea watched that a bit ago.
I love that movie. I made Maddie watch it on Halloween. So good. I was talking about it at work during the meetings the other day.
I'm gonna go for the brighter yellow.
Chopping Mall is awesome.
So underrated. The Pledge Advantage is complete. Congratulations. I still need to do mine desperately. I've barely even touched it.
Yeah, I did all unpainted again. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't either. I learned my lesson.
I'm waiting.
I hope you have more free time in the future, Hamster.
I'm waiting on my yellow transparent paint to get here, and then I'm going to start painting my hellscape.
Oh, nice.
I have everything else, though. So...
Yeah, I have a lot of time to hang. I'll just have to bring it on the hobby hang.
I'm really hoping to start doing hellscape this weekend.
Nice. Oh yeah, you got yours unpainted as well. I forgot about that.
I got it all unpainted, baby. So I was like, I can get so much more.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. I used
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
that and no longer.
Here's the thing, I have the time to paint. I just need to actually spend that time painting instead of staring at the wall.
Yes.
Well,
I'll just watch one episode or play one game.
So.
You can barely even see your wall, so I don't know what you're,
Got you.
Got him.
Got me good. Well, I can see my walls because I have night vision, so I'm sorry about your weakness.
Whoa!
I have dark vision.
Doubt it.
Is there still robe there? No. Okay, you know what? Go ahead and just get that robe yellow for now. I'll paint it.
What brush are you using? Honestly, I'm using, what brand is this? I am using a, cheapo pack I got on Amazon. These, golden Taklon brushes, I kind of just find in the cheapest packs because, I just throw them out and then replace them. I do have one natural hair brush here that I don't, always use even. But if I might for some like of the scratchy details with this nice sharp point. But especially for base coating and stuff, I use a lot. And for most Dwarven Forge stuff, because most of it isn't super technically precise, right? Because it's the factory has to produce them en masse, so most of it is done with these cheap acrylic brushes. Very decent. They last for quite a while, especially for the uses that don't need a super sharp tip. So I've been using this batch of brushes right here on my desk I've probably had for almost every hobby hang, really. We've done what, like 10 of them or something?
Bye, Odin Forge. Thanks for coming by. Oh, and also buy Antipodium? Antipodium.
10 sounds right, yeah.
But yeah, over in my stash I just have like 10 of those packs, and I'll crack one open once in a while when I need something new.
I've been starting to work through some of my brushes. I'm gonna need to start restocking.
I also get the cheapo stuff.
I'm definitely glad I have a couple nice ones for when I do add a spot of detail, but most of the work
really
is
need it,
yeah.
Dang.
Get in there real quick. There we go.
Yeah, I usually right now I'm liking this color synthetic, the golden Taklon. I look for a size 2, maybe one when I'm looking at these packs. Maybe one slightly larger that's like a 3 to 5. And I like to have one sort of flat brush like this for certain things. And if you just get a pack of an assortment of that amongst like 10 brushes, it's usually what I grab.
Everybody say hi to Six of Clubs' son.
Hello!
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, 5 of clubs.
5. Nice.
Oh, man.
Merrick, that's exactly right. Like, an old brush doesn't die, it's just used for other stuff. Where sometimes the frayed bristles can produce cool effects, actually.
Yeah, because you don't need, like... You don't need something in, like, great condition for dry brushing, yeah?
Yeah, right, exactly. In fact, that's normally where old brushes go, is to the dry brushing bin.
The island of misfit brushes.
Alright. Touch that in there. At my skill level, I could paint with the cotton swab. Excellent.
Hey, actually, funny enough, I have painted with a cotton swab.
How'd it go?
It's actually really fun. This often happens when you use enamels or oils. Topulus, let me know if you've tried this. And so they don't thin them with water like water-based acrylics. What you can do, especially with like an oil wash, is just douse the thing in an oil or enamel paint. And then you basically paint by removing it with white spirit instead of water. So, and that stuff has such a
So
long drying time. Yeah, you're staining the whole thing, and it has a long drying time, and it will come off even more so than water on acrylic because it dries so fast. This stays wet, so you can literally paint by removing paint.
Huh.
I like that. That sounds cool.
It's actually pretty fun, especially to shake it up. Yeah, I haven't done it a ton, Topulus. Yeah, panel lining. Well, see, this is why it's great for panel lining, is because that white spirit is the surface tension is even lower than water, so it will like zip through you literally will touch your brush tip like a pen to a crack, and it will just shoot through it and be instantly accurate. It's pretty awesome. Streaking grime deserves the hype that it gets. That's what I used for my battered stormtroopers. I love that stuff. That's an enamel. It's just like a green enamel that makes it look all gross.
Sounds like I could use some of that for my Battletech stuff when I get into that.
Yeah, it's a great product. That whole scheme, people love that scheme, and I do too, but it's funny. It's such a product-based scheme that I did for that. It's like basically just apply the streaking grime and enamels. Yes, Topula. I didn't see John's 40k army, but I think I saw his Sigmar army with the bone guys, and he did something similar, I think. Maybe he did that?
I mean, it'd be really cool. I know we've been talking about this. It'd be really cool to bring some of these people on, so we could talk about it. Sigmar, not 40k.
Oh yeah, it must have been that army then, yeah. Cuz
Sigmar's the fantasy version, right?
Yeah. Cuz he did that cool thing with Miniac and Vince Venturella and Sam Lenz, I think. And they did a combo diorama where they all did a portion of it to make one piece. And so they spent like a week together doing that, and so they brought armies to play with.
Wow. Does That's my question.
I don't know.
Does Sigmar need scatter the same way that 40k does? Does it still function like basically the exact same?
Yeah, they function very similarly with line of sight and everything. I mean, there's probably like, I haven't played as much Sigmar, but there's probably like less shooting, like less line of sight and stuff. I think there's more close combat, but they definitely are laid out similarly.
Interesting. I'm thinking, I wonder if we should think about that. How much is Sigmar played in comparison to 40k? Like 40k is all I mean, I see the Sigmar figures, but don't hear it
It's
talked about as
probably up there with, it's probably, if 40K is the first most popular game, Sigmar is probably the second most popular.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just because Games Workshop's been in in the market for so long.
That makes
All right,
sense.
well, I'm gonna have my ritual bathroom break. Don't say anything mean about me.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't dream of it.
I'm watching from the bathroom.
That's just creepy.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Talk about timing. My Hansa Yellow Transparent was just delivered. Oh, that actual golden stuff that Aaron used.
that's what I'm waiting
That's
on.
awesome.
That's the literal paint
Oh,
I'm waiting
nice.
on right now.
Kite Nerd just got it too.
I've got everything else for Hellscape except for the Hansa Yellow Transparent. And then once that gets here, I'm going to start my lava terrain. I was so nervous about painting it until I did a bunch of minis. And especially after I did the wheelchair minis, I was like, look, if I can do that, I can handle terrain.
Absolutely.
Like,
especially because like miniatures are like, they showcase a specific character, but every piece of terrain is going to be built together with a million other pieces, so the overall look is going to be great.
yeah. As long as I stay consistent, right?
Yeah.
So that's the big thing, is I'm planning on doing it in batches. I'm going to look through the Joy Dwarven painting video. And, I'm going to try to just do it all in steps,
Yeah, and just don't be
Like-
too picky. Just like keep your pace up.
I'm going to do like a box or two at a time.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Because if you think you made a mistake, honestly, put it down for a second, move on to the next one. By the time you come back to it, you're not even going to notice like what the heck it was. Especially if you just build it, you're going to be happier that they're all painted than if you went back and spent 10 extra minutes on like a small thing.
Yeah.
For terrain, especially.
I think it's the thing is, yeah, with terrain, like, my main concern is I want the usability.
Yeah.
Like, with minis, I do want to showcase, like, I'm more concerned with, like, I really just want to capture this character.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm making minis that I, like, know are going to be used in the game.
Right.
When I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm doing this character justice, because this is a representation of a thing that somebody has spent a lot of time trying to fully realize.
Right.
And when it comes to the terrain, like, I'm basically... They're just building blocks.
Well, and think about this too. Like, the terrain is really, really cool. Obviously, we all love terrain at Dwarven Forge, but it is the
We're legally obligated. To. Yeah.
but it is the background, right? It is the background of like the story happening with the individual characters. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
it also it doesn't mean anything until you make something with it.
yeah, yeah,
Like it like literally it is nothing until somebody builds something. The act like the painting isn't what makes it come alive, really. It's the build.
right. And just like with miniatures, with Hellscape, you have like the Hellgate and everything that you can really add some cool details on that are the centerpieces. So you can pick those pieces that are super cool and less of the background and more of the central narrative. And the surrounding parts are just that. The surrounding parts,
Yeah. Nice. This in here. I'm trying to do some layered effects with the shell. I feel like the shell's gonna need like a good dry brush to really sell it. I am glad that a lot of his shell is just not actually visible though. This is some favorite wargaming minis you use for RPGs. I personally love Nagash as an extremely powerful Lich or God of Death. I think Critical Role used his body for Vecna. I'm not too familiar with wargaming minis yet. I'm extremely new to this entire world. Although, man, I would like to use some of the... I'm not gonna lie, I would like to use some of those gnomes that I used against you in Relic Blade. I would love to actually bring them into our D&D game. I feel like they'd work well.
Yeah, a lot of the D&D that I've done with miniatures has been at work, so it's been a lot of DF stuff. But Yeah, there's a ton of miniatures that I've purchased to use, thinking they'd be great for both.
We
Trying
used
to
some
think.
wargaming. We used some of your wargaming minis for that game with Matt Lillard.
Oh, nice. The Steamforged ones?
Yeah, the snakes.
Oh, right.
It's the snake dudes. We put because of their color scheme, we took some of the mushrooms from Caverns Deep
Nice.
and we white sticked them onto their heads and made them like they were like Myconid spawn basically.
Cool.
So we did that. That was kind of fun. So yeah, we did do that. I have a couple. There's one I actually just got from Asset Drop that I'm very excited to make because I do want to work him into our game. I think you will actually like this one a lot. It's from Ragecraft.
Ragecraft.
Not assembled yet, but it's actually a 2-part mini. Meaning it's 2 minis basically, but. Let's see. Yeah, so I thought about painting him on here. Maybe I'll do him next week because I'm very excited about this guy. So he is a like orc commander.
Oh, cool.
Who, man, can I get this to function correctly? Come on. Oh, everything's falling apart. Just focus on him. There we go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And he, so the other part is crossbow that he holds like this and looks down the sights of. It won't focus on it though, so whatever. It's a very cool orc. He's very clearly like a commander with a heavy crossbow that he's still wielding one-handed. And then he's got a goblin that like waits on him and is following him around carrying his bolts and stuff.
That's awesome.
And in our game, we're heading into we're going to be getting into a war situation fairly soon.
Huh.
And it's on a continent that has a lot of orc warbands. Orc and goblin warbands and stuff. So it's like, this would be a cool character. So that's one of the things I've just been making like a lot of minis and then showing him to Tyler, being like, "Hey, let's put him in the game somewhere. Like we got this mini now,
Right?
Like let's make use of it." And so like this one is the other way around, where we had the character first, and now we're making a mini for him.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm glad you're doing that because that's like as you've started miniature painting, that's like part of the trajectory that makes it so fun. Is you have the history of painting it and putting it together, and then when you see it on the table, that's like the best part.
Do it again. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's mix these two. Never ceasing to amaze. Broken Anvil just teased some mushroomy guys. Excellent. Yeah, Myconids, as I learned while trying to organize everything for that game with Matt Lillard, Myconids are very hard to come by. There's not all that many Myconids out there.
All right, Mace, vamp for me. I'm pulling out the hair dryer.
Vamp for you. Vamp. What's vamp mean? It's all right.
Oh, this is perfect. What's up?
You've been singing a song lately, and I wanted to hear it real quick because this is going to be the last time I want to hear it before Hamster's done with his hair drying.
No, I don't feel like singing it right now.
Dang it! Come on.
No, it's fine.
You were never there for me when I needed you.
You made me feel really bad about it, so I've lost all
Yeah,
interest
because
in
it
that
was
song.
annoying. I'm sorry. I'm still kind of. I'm gonna be honest. When I was in the bathroom just now, I was thinking about how mad I was about Animal House, and I don't think you're entirely wrong, and that makes me even madder. But I I will not recover quickly, I guess, is all I have to say.
That's totally fair.
I'm mad at you, just incredibly disappointed in myself. That's what parents say, right?
I think I just realized I'm basically gonna make this guy Last Airbender robes.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Hey, Hamster's back.
Come back, hamster.
Yeah,
How
this
is my vamping?
very good, very good.
I'm gonna get a bumper sticker that says that.
How was my vamping?
That was my vamping, and it's like your phone number.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these natural hair brushes are pretty nice.
Oh, did you get some?
Yeah, Aaron gave me some
Oh, nice.
when I was working on Lillard stuff.
Cool.
I really like
Drawing
this.
hard, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then yo, whose cover is this? It's in like a cover of Girl Blue, covered Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. This is interesting.
This is your own music, so we wouldn't have been able to answer.
I know. I was asking myself. The only person I can trust.
Okay. Okay.
This is a classic song, though. Controversial opinion.
Fleetwood Mac
Mac's
is
a pretty
just,
good band.
they're full of bops. Nothing but bops.
They also have some jams.
Yeah, controversial
Some
indeed.
Bops and jams.
They have jams, they have bops.
They got grooves.
They have Space Jam.
Fleetwood Mac, Space
I
Jam.
really
Hey, Jimmy Hayes, how you doing? And Sakaris, you guys both showed up at the same time. Some bops, some jams, a slap or two. Yeah. Pretty much all their...
little noodle in there.
Definitely a noodle.
Couple noodles here or there. No pain, no gain.
That's a very scary way to live, actually.
Oh. It's how pimps live, so all simps live. No pain, no gain. So in the way that
Alright.
they avoid pain.
Well,
Now we know. 90% of
Have
the
you-
human population is simps. Pass it on.
have you heard Lucy Dacus?
Yes, I like her very much.
She's very good.
Yes.
Both her covers
Have
and
you
her
heard
original stuff. Mitski?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've talked about her.
Oh. News to me.
We've talked about her screaming into her guitar at the
Oh,
at her,
yeah,
at her
yeah.
NPR concert. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a goodie.
Oh
I want
man.
to harness that kind of power.
Just like that level of like I can be this open and like completely comfortable with
That level of, like, yeah, like, I am this mad and you guys all have to hear it.
yeah.
But also the fact that it sounds dope.
It's scary, man, to like put yourself out there the way that she does. Yeah, it's she like
Well, it's like
she-
her more recent album is a lot more veiled than her older stuff. It's still very good, and like it changed a lot too, where it's more produced now. So originally, when I heard it after having been like a Mitzi fan for a little bit, I was immediately upset because I'm bad at change. And I was saying things like, "Oh, it's overproduced. It's not like actual organic Mitski," but it like genuinely grows on you, and you just have to be patient with it, like most things.
Yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. Bit of stomach pain. Uh-oh. Sorry, man. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting through this mini pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, me too. It's mostly armor. I am in the dangerous territory, though, where I'm doing the really sloppy stuff. And it's in that midpoint where it's like, this looks like absolute booty. And eventually it'll turn out.
Absolute Booty was my nickname in high school.
It's your nickname at Dwarven Forge when you're not there.
Thank you? To be clear, it wasn't an insult.
No. It's just your nickname.
I believe the technical term is the ass face of painting.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. I gotta get rid of those vortex mixers.
I do love mine. It's definitely excessive, but
You have one?
yes.
Somebody was talking, I think Lori was talking about how they got one based off of recommendations from the Discord. So the Discord had this whole discussion going on about vortex mixing. I'd never heard of it, but it sounds extremely over the top for painting. And I'm very into it. Anything that lets you use the word vortex in, like, conversation is excellent.
Hot take.
What's the easiest way to get into painting miniatures?
Just start, man.
Yeah, just start. I mean, you guys are new, so what has worked for you? Because you just got a starter set of paints. There was like a dozen paints.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is don't feel like you have to buy a bunch of stuff. You can start with like very few stuff. Like I said, what I'm using now and for years what I've used is just cheapo synthetic brushes. Just go to the art store, get a couple of these for a couple bucks each, and packs. I mean, so you get like 5 to 10 brushes of different sizes. Just get a couple of those. Get a handful of starter paints. Good brands to look at are Reaper or Vallejo or even Games Workshop. But just start with a handful of paints and learn how to use them and what you like about paint as you go, and then you'll learn which paints to get. Anytime I try a new paint brand, I just buy a few colors at a time. But yeah.
You'll develop your own style of doing all this as well. You'll figure out which paints you like, what kind of texture you like. Oh man.
Right.
Because I guarantee the way that I do things is very different than the way that Hamster does things.
Right, and yeah, but you develop
that's why
that.
Hamster's the paid professional.
But you develop that, and a lot of what I'm doing here is like based on the materials that I've had and how I like to use them. So you'll learn that as you go too. It's not all you have to have the talent or even the skill. Sometimes a product does a job just because it's that product. It does that job well. So, and you'll learn those things.
What helped me a lot was just binging videos about it and kind of immersing myself into like the knowledge and seeing how it helps to hear how multiple people explain how to do one thing, so you actually get like a really full grasp of what they're trying to say and communicate. Because I feel like with mini painting, it's a little bit difficult compared to because it's a 3D object, and so that translates differently than like normal 2D art. So it was helpful to kind of get a lot of people saying basically the same thing, but with different words and explaining like in more depth or like explaining entirely new ideas too.
There's a ton of resources on YouTube.
Yeah.
The Discord's really helpful for it as well.
Yeah, we have a document of channels.
Yeah, they got a document of channels to look at. They'll always recommend things. They're all very supportive about it.
Yeah. I think that's Topulus's document, actually. But what I will say about that, because I fall into this trap too of like, oh, I want a mini paint. And so I'll look up a video and then hours go by and I've just watched videos. So make sure you're balancing the time of watching videos and then applying what you learn and actually putting paint on the miniature.
Agree. You're here.
You've really just got to get through your first couple too.
Yes.
And then you've got to realize that, because the whole time you're probably gonna be thinking, oh man, I'm screwing this up. This is very bad. And you've got to realize you got to just do it, and then realize afterwards that you're still alive.
Right.
Against all odds.
Against
Against
all
all
odds.
odds, you not knowing what you were doing while you were painting did not kill you.
Yeah, there's a document linked right in the chat there. There's a bunch of great channels. You could spend years looking at all those videos. There's a bunch of great options.
Yeah. I don't quite understand what's happening with his little cloak here. Let's just do that. Yeah. Look at that. All right. Oh, hey, Lori's here.
Hi,
Was it Lori
Lori.
that got the mixer? Yeah, Lori's the one that got the mixer. I keep like blanking out on checking the chat, and I need to not.
Yeah, don't do what I do.
There we go. Man, I'm very good at making playlists.
Humble brag.
Yes.
Yes, because if you were very good at making playlists, that'd be the humble brag equivalent of the actual brag of I'm very good at making music. Hamster,
like
go
my-
ahead, take it away.
What now?
Take it away and sing. Do
Sorry,
a little
you're-
ditty for the chat.
Sorry, your internet doesn't want me to. It's
Just a little ditty. Right, ditty?
Oh, she wants you to sing. I
My
think
internet doesn't.
she wants you to sing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think that'll be a stretch goal. The next.
Stretch goal for what? The next Kickstarter?
Yeah.
All right, you guys gotta wait like a year.
Yeah, exactly. That's my whole plan.
What are we gonna do if we get to 5 million? Hamster sings.
Well, actually, because
Exactly.
we got to 4 million, we're supposed to do Tyler's head, but then he went and he got a freaking haircut that he paid money for.
Unbelievable.
I know, and I was like, it's gonna be a waste once we shave your head. And he's like, bring the clippers, do it. And I was like, I don't have clippers, but Nate has his here, and Toby's offered to bring his. And he's like, nope, yours. And I'm like, simp.
Wait. I don't think that's how that works.
It's not, but that's how the conversation goes.
All right.
I'm not claiming to have all the logic in the world, but I do have a lot of insults I sling.
That is true. I can confirm that actually.
Thanks.
She's not lying this time.
When was the last time?
Hmm?
When was the last time I lied?
Well, I'm not trying to be like Animal House.
Chris, you're towing that line.
Yeah, so what? I got AAA.
Just don't want the hospitals to be too full from COVID patients to be able to deal with your mutilated body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wow, that was... Wow. Wow. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Listen, this is the
I know
tough
how
cookie stream. We have to have a tough hide to take Mesa's sass here in this one.
It's actually, that's actually part of the application process.
Yeah.
Part of the interview process to work at Dwarven Forge, you have to like sit in a room with Mace for a while and come out okay.
Man, good thing I got hired after most people there.
Yeah. Dark on very many levels. Yeah, it was a little rough. Reaper miniatures. Wait, is that the same starter set that I have?
I'm pretty sure it is. I think that's what I recommended to you guys.
If that is, yeah, because I'm
Alright,
pretty
I'm
sure you
gonna-
got it based off your recommendation.
Are
I
they
think
out
I'm
of
gonna
stock
call
on
it
Amazon?
good on this. Are they in stock on Amazon?
Well, this is the U.S. store. Where are you
No, we said-
located? This says in stock on here. UK based? Okay.
Yeah, UK is a whole.
Well, it's a pretty common
other
set,
deal.
so you might be able to, if you just Google the Reaper, what is it called? Reaper Master Series starter set, you'll probably find a store that has it.
You're right. The UK is based. Mace has to deal with all of us weirdos on Wednesday, so it's not surprising that she's sassy by Thursday.
He gets it.
I do hope people realize that we're messing around all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We're very rarely serious on this.
I promise that I come across as very sassy, but as an actual human being, I can be very nice.
Can be.
I can be. When somebody needs me to be nice, I will be very kind.
What about when that's when we're recovering from your sass?
Yep. When they need me the most. Right after a thorough burn-in. Oh yeah, okay. I'm done with what I'm doing. I'll show what I did. It's not very good, but I'm just so like tired of looking
It is
at
good.
it that it's done.
It is good.
Okay, let me pull up the. You
Me
haven't
with
even
my-
seen it yet, Hamster.
Me with my
So this
short
is the
film,
image
dude.
I was trying to draw. It's Pat Benatar, the toughest cookie. I don't know if you can see.
Why is Pat Benatar?
Oh, at first I thought,
Wow, that looks so realistic.
I was gonna say, I thought that was your drawing.
Wow.
the drawing?
Oh, wait.
This is the actual photo. This was the
Oh.
reference. The drawing's not so okay. It's
Yo, we gotta get that girl an Ethernet cable.
and I'm glad
Yeah.
it's going through a webcam. Oh, am I
You know what it
cutting
looks
out?
like? It looks like a Punch-Out sprite. It looks like Pat Benatar
What's
in
that?
like an NES game. From here,
Cool. I'll take that.
it's good. Punch-Out actually had like very good sprite work.
I don't know what. Thank you.
You'd probably like Punch-Out. It's a boxing game.
Oh, I would love it.
Try this
I love
at 8.
punching.
Love.
Well, I guess it's a puzzle game that takes the form of boxing. It's a weird thing to explain. Oh yeah, I'm actually extremely happy with this so far. Which is rare for me, so I'll take it.
Hot dog.
Hot dog!
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. It's a Mickey Mouse.
Wow! You picking that up. I am surprised that you know that song.
The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song?
Yeah, you don't have younger siblings, right?
No, but I did have younger cousins that I used to babysit.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I know a lot of, like, little kid stuff that was after my time because I'm the oldest of 6. So I just,
Really? I
like,
don't know that.
always... Yeah, I just, like, always had a baby in the house. So... a lot of constant baby-style content. that,
Baby
uh,
style.
Yeah, baby-style content. It wasn't up to the intellectual capacity that I had. But I'm aware of it. Man, the Blue's Clues birthday song absolutely just lodged in my brain forever.
How's it go? Wait, nope, don't.
It's from like a, I think it was like a straight to DVD movie. I like Vallejo paints a little better than Reaper, if only because the tips clog less often. Yo, yeah, when paints clog, that's the worst.
Yeah, I probably use Vallejo a little more, but I like Reaper to start because a lot of new painters, especially in those videos, if you watch them, they're saying thin your paints, and Reaper has a bunch of medium in their paint. They're kind of similar, honestly, but they are the runnier of the bunch, so you'll get used to adding multiple layers and all that.
Come on. Just get that. Yeah, the worst thing is trying to paint between their legs.
Hey.
Bam. All right. I think I'm happy with the color scheme on this whole thing. Well, that's all cleanup. I think also the big thing is the difference between like mini paints and terrain paints. Like, I remember trying to use Picorni paints for minis and just having a real bad time.
Yeah, Picorni paints are, I agree with you when you, like, you said it, I think sometime this week, where it's, Picorni paints are good, but mostly for terrain purposes, because it covers, like, a high batch, and it's really high flow, but I tried to use some of the white paint we have to do a base on one of our, crab lilies, and it just turned into, like, a mess. Like, it looked like it was covered in white goo that it couldn't get rid of, so...
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Picorni or Golden for minis. But on bigger surface area things, you get coverage really, really well. That stuff's, it's really great. It's really, really great for that. But it's just one of the cool little things that you learn when you spend your time on this.
Yeah, and white paint is especially tough and will separate like a lot of it. Here's the thing too, is a lot of it is based on the pigments, which are across almost any brand of that same color. And you know, it depends, like some of them use synthetic pigments or they'll use a lower or higher density of the pigment, so they will behave differently, but sometimes a certain color just across the board acts strangely in certain ways just because of the pigment. White, well, that includes a lot of white, in my experience. Things like yellow and orange. Orange is a big one. Just hard to get opacity. So, but you learn tricks like, you know, your first layer will be for like a yellow, for instance, do a brown or an ochre. And then you'll have to, instead of doing like 12 layers of yellow, you're going to get opacity and coverage quicker. If you do a quick layer of ochre or brown or something. So you'll learn tricks like that with certain colors. Orange, you can get different results with orange if you do an underlayer of like yellow or red. You get it to come out differently because it's really transparent. And all acrylics are transparent somewhat, so the layers underneath will influence the color you see. But especially with orange, yeah, things like that. Oh, that's a good point. The Picorni paints are cool on the mini bases because then they'll match the dungeon.
Yeah, that's true. I still like it for when I'm trying to hit like very small detailed areas on a mini. For doing a pink/white zenithal base for yellow works really well.
Yeah, adding because yellow is especially transparent too, so if you add some kind of redness in that underlayer, it's gonna appear warmer than if you just do it over white. Oftentimes, if you want that like really rich yellow, adding some red into that zenithal mix will definitely help you. Or pink. Otherwise, it gets a little desaturated with white. Yeah, I've been experimenting with, in general, doing zenithal, even with a brush and stuff, with different colors, just because it is interesting the results you wouldn't expect just by virtue of the paints being, just what we're talking about, paints being transparent and the under painting, you know, how it affects the result. All right, so this underground dwarf is sufficiently grimy, I think. So now I'm just gonna bring some color back and you know, just let a little bit of this show through when we're done.
Just doing all my cleanup now.
Yeah, and just basically just bringing back the base color and adding a couple highlights, but making sure there's some dinge happening.
It's pretty dinge, bro. I think I've hit... Oh, there we go. There's a big swatch that I need to cover. Look at that. I think it's all really solid. I feel like I need to bring back some brown to bounce up the model more, so let's just...
How was Minnesota, Hamster?
It was good.
You get Taco John's?
I didn't because I ended up getting home cooked meals instead, so that was good.
Man.
Fair trade.
Yeah.
Remember cooking. Man. When quarantine started, I was cooking so much. I've like lost the energy for it lately. I need to just make myself do it.
I get that. I get bored of things easy, where I need to switch projects that I'm working on frequently. Otherwise, I become like incredibly just full of ennui. And so recently, cooking's been kind of high on my project list, and it's a lot of fun. And I've gotten a lot better at it. So no regrets. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Cooking's one of those things that seems like way more difficult than it is.
Yep. You could get a whole lot of Mexican going on at Taco John's, so.
You can get what?
The fact that a whole lot of Mexican going on at Taco John's.
Please tell me that's actually their jingle.
Yeah, it is.
Their jingle is genuinely a whole lot of Mexican going on.
Going on at Taco John's.
I don't believe this.
Nobody. So when I first got to Dwarven Forge, I think I mentioned Taco John's once, and everybody was like, "You're making that up. You're just saying stuff now." And then I mentioned it a second time, and I think Hamster was actually there that time, and I got him to vouch for me.
Yeah.
But nobody understands the joy of a Taco John.
I believe you that Taco John's exists. I don't know about that jingle being real.
It's a real thing.
I'm gonna look it up and send it.
Play that on stream. See if we get copyright struck for that. Yes, Cat. What can I do for you? It has to be something.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
Okay.
I'll be back. I just want to hear the Taco John's jingle. Classic me.
There goes Mace with their Taco John's again. I guess there are worse things to be known for.
True.
It's that Taco John's individual over there. think. Let's grab this thing. It's got a couple spots to hit. Oh yeah, look at that. What's everybody in the chat working on tonight?
That's a good question.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
Mace vibing hard to that jingle. I missed the video feed.
Oh, stop.
How was it? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
Yeah, apparently, I feel like Taco John's may have started Taco Tuesday at this point.
Wow, they're that would really give them a lot of taco cred.
Taco cred's what it's all about.
I posted it in the Discord, so don't worry, you guys are going to be able to refer to that jingle later.
Oh, good.
Yep. $5?
Yeah, you really got to raise your rates.
No, because then it becomes unrealistic and people won't ever just like be like, oh, for the joke of it, I'm actually going to give Mace $5 now.
How many people are actually giving you $5 as part of the joke?
Well, I'm an optimist, so I think that eventually somebody might give me $5.
Nobody. So nobody has given you $5 yet.
I didn't say nobody.
You didn't say anybody.
I didn't say anybody. But I also didn't say nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I've had $5 before.
Related to that bit?
I'm an optimist. I've had $5 before.
Mace has never gotten $5 from somebody for this bit. Confirmed.
I could get $5 again.
Painting a bone dragon and trying your color wheel tips from last time. For the muscly bits, I'm using a purplish red, and then on the bones, a yellow highlight for contrast. Working on a female mini with a sword. Do not remember what company she's from. I'm trying to work at experimenting with the sheer fabric effect. Like a see-through fabric?
That's really cool.
That sounds very challenging.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that yet.
I'm glad you're trying the color theory stuff, because that's going to help you so much in the long run. When you're mixing, and when you're looking at something and you're not sure why it's not quite working for your eye, you'll know how to fix it. Zombies.
Zombie dragon.
Glazing flesh tones over the fabric color. That's a cool idea.
Oh, so you're kind of giving it the look of the skin through the material? That is really cool.
Okay, yeah. That took me a minute. I wonder if when you're painting like chainmail, if you have to do something to account for like the amount of skin that would go through the metal.
Are you going bare-chested under your chainmail?
Under my chainmail pants, so it's bare-legged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you never know. There could be a rave happening in ye old times that you want to be
true.
ready.
Get in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Da, 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 da. Okay.
I'm drawing a horse. Is that a tough cookie?
Definitely.
I mean, a horse could mess me up pretty bad.
I don't think this one would mess anybody up.
I mean, I would have to start the fight probably, but
Yeah, you definitely would.
if I made the horse fight, any horse could probably mess me up pretty bad. If I'm
This
being
horse
real.
is like Hazel decided to become a horse.
If Hazel tried to become a horse.
Yeah, just sweet and derpy.
Man, I wish I liked horses more, but they creep me out.
They creep you out.
Why?
I can't tell what horses are thinking,
Oh, okay.
so I never know if a horse is like wanting to kill me.
Is that why you don't like people
No, I know exactly what people are thinking. That's why I don't like
all
them.
the time?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm too good at reading people. It's unfortunate.
Whap whap.
Whap whap.
It started as an alligator, and then I was like, oh, it's going to be a dragon, and now it's like a really deformed horse.
Genesis.
Metamorphosis. No humans. Did you guys read those books?
What?
Metamorphosis books?
No.
Me neither, but I remember the covers very well.
The Animorphs?
Animorphs, that's it.
Oh yeah, no, I read a bunch of Animorphs. I was huge on Animorphs.
This is the Kafka one. I actually did read Kafka's Metamorphosis.
Kafka's Metamorphosis and Animorphs are basically the same book, if we're being honest.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have enough background in Animorphs
No, I
to
authentically,
argue or dispute that.
I read that
Here's my
entire series.
2-minute drive.
K.A. Applegate's also like just genuinely a very cool person.
Who?
K.A. Applegate, the woman that wrote Animorphs.
I didn't know it was a woman that wrote it. It was such like a not to be not to put people in gender roles or anything, but a lot of the people I knew that read them were actually like boys. So I just assumed that it was like a male oriented and male written genre or whatever it is.
I think a lot of people did, which is why. So it's interesting because she wrote it as a very explicitly anti-war series, but a lot of people kind of took. A lot of people kind of just focused on the, oh man, how cool it'd be to be a bear and rip people in half. Like, you know, there's a lot of those kids.
In their defense, it would be very cool.
Yeah, it would be very cool to rip people in half as a bear. That is undeniable. But yeah, I guess it's kind of like a Metal Gear Solid thing going on in that respect, where like it's ostensibly anti-war, but it's still also like it makes shooting people feel real cool. Yeah. Which then is...
Did you guys read
What's that?
Game? Did you read Ender's
No,
Game?
I didn't.
I've read that a couple times.
Oh, I love Ender's Game.
It's a good one.
That actually surprised me a lot.
Man, I love the Stone Roses.
I was just listening to them. Is it All I Want, or I Want to Be Adored, or whatever?
No, I Want to Be Adored is very good, though.
Yeah.
Right now I'm listening to the single of, I Am the Resurrection. Which I'm listening to the version that has, like, 6 minutes of just a jam session at the end of the song. It's very, very good. I think they're some of my favorite walking music.
Right on.
Like this or Fool's Gold. Like... And, you know, they've got Waterfall, they've got She Bangs the Drums, they've got other stuff that's not quite as walking music-y, but still pretty good. But
Don't let yourself be defined by what is and what isn't walking music.
I mean, I don't let myself be defined by anything except Merriam-Webster.
When I was a kid, I carried around a dictionary that I called Mr. Webster.
You can't be a real person. You are.
Why did you do that?
I would just open it up and like read a random word and be like, I learned a word today.
After this has got you. This is some stranger than fiction situation. You are some nice old woman author's like idea of like just the most perfectly wonderful little like Midwestern boy. Like everything I ever learned about you is the cutest like man.
Did you have a favorite word from there that you learned?
Oh, to pick but one. No, I don't remember what I learned. Which ones I read.
Indecisive.
Yeah, right.
Loving the color on Chris's headphones. Thank you. I got these from a condom commercial.
What?
I acted in a condom commercial a couple years ago, and it was based around. It's fun. I actually still have my audition saved on my computer because it was like a particularly fun one initially. Because what it was is it was an advertising campaign where everybody's supposed to be like streamers basically, and so it was a Trojan commercial, and so I filmed my audition from like my streaming setup.
Oh, nice.
And like with all that, and like I had my cat like there and everything, and I kept it like very loose, and it was a lot of fun. And then yeah, so we went there, and it was I did the shoot, and they had ordered a bunch of streaming stuff off of Amazon, and they were like, I mean, we're not actually going to use this. And they're like, so if you want to do this, just like take it. So these headphones and this gaming chair and
nice.
Tyler's computer tower are all things that I ordered a car, and I put it all in the back. I broke the chair down and put it back in the box and loaded it into a car and took it back to my apartment. So
that's awesome.
And then so they renewed it for an extra year, and then they were gonna renew it for 2 years. In February, they reached out to me and said they were gonna renew it for 2 more years. I was like, cool, 2 more years of getting paid for not having to do any more work. Excellent. And then at the end of March, I got an email that's like, yeah, so due to the pandemic, we're not planning to sell as many condoms anymore, so we're cutting a lot of advertising, and so they didn't renew it anymore.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, which bummed me out, but it is what it is. Maybe they'll bring it back after the pandemic.
Right.
Or maybe the pandemic had a crazy effect on condom sales, where people are so bored they need to make balloons out of something, and balloon sales are low, as we all know, because of the pandemic. So the only viable option after that would be a latex friend.
Let me see if I have the email with the exact wording on this. Hang on. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it was in March.
Gaming Recon says that there's going to be a baby boom for sure, which is something I've been not worried about. Like whatever.
The minute that the
but like
I would think that if people had actually been like dutifully obeying the lockdown stuff, but people haven't really. I don't know that there's that many people. I don't know that there's that many people who it's really going to be that much of a change for them when it's actually listed. I want to find this so bad.
You don't think that the people that have been obeying though are like gonna be, also there's a lot less activities to do outside besides, so like I think that even though a lot of people are not obeying the lockdown, I think that there is a few activities that people still are able to do to defeat boredom, and that is
like what?
One of the few.
Like what?
Like what else?
Wrestling.
Was early on who do something to do. I know people who've gotten married.
That's the first step, Hamster. That counts in the whole lineup.
Yo, Stone Cold Steve Austin replica belts get through the roof. You wouldn't believe. Latex friend is a new euphemism. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna. Oh, don't fall over. I'm actually gonna grab a transparent paint to put on the tip of his staff because he has a little magical effect going on there. So I'll be right back.
I think his staff is my euphemism, but it's very it's not even a euphemism. It's just very. And he's gone.
Just you and me. Wrestling. That's right, Jimmy.
That's what I say too. Wrestle. Not like that's not like an accent thing. That's just like I prefer to say wrestle because it's funnier.
Right.
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 Wrestling.
Oh shit. Okay, so today I need to stop swearing, but Tyler suggested the name Triple H for Hamster Hobby Thing, which like
Triple
the
H.
wrestler Triple H. Yeah. So
And then can we all go by? Can we all go by? Can we all pick wrestling names?
well, yeah, we have to, but like if we're gonna lean hard into the like wrestling kind of thematic, scope of our.
I still want to do that for
thing,
wargaming, man. I can't wait for the
Huh?
quarantine to be over just so we can actually do the wargaming content we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
Because, yeah, we had like a whole wrestling thing planned with all that.
It's almost been a year since we started actually planning the Twitch channel.
Wow.
Yeah, we started planning it in January this year.
No, even
We were doing it before that, were we?
we started hitting the books in January.
Oh, I
we
remember over Christmas I was putting together a pitch. Basically, I was putting together ideas. So I guess it was very late last year is when we started with this. Yeah, that was one of our earliest ideas too. Was that wargaming stuff, and it was some of the stuff that's been hardest to do outside of just without being able to be in the same room. You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's the thing I was talking about with Nate is like we've got all these solutions for tabletop RPGs, but like with wargaming, generally you just got the two people who are playing, and you need to be able to measure and stuff, and like you can't do all that as well like remotely.
Right.
Tabletop Simulator is working pretty well for it. But I don't know that we can't really show off our product in that yet. I don't know.
Yeah, Nate was opposed to that, unfortunately.
Yeah. There were ways that we could do it, but nothing that
showcases terrain.
Yeah.
Like physical terrain.
Hamster and I have been playing some war games on Tabletop Simulator. That's been fun.
Yeah, we played some
Wanna do more
Relic
of that,
Blade, where
actually.
this guy's from, so...
We did. Wait, you're painting... That's another Relic Blade guy?
Yeah, this is the neutral Moldorf Expedition dwarf.
I want to try some of them.
They can go on either side, bad or good guys.
You can do it in the way of nerd botchery. That's fair, but that's still...
Honestly, Nerd Debauchery's setup is kind of... They have a little bit more to work with than we do, even. Like, I play with their channel, and, like, I remember the first time we were able to see their set, I think I made Chris, like, on his drive home.
I did watch it, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, they have a multi-webcam thing going on.
It's a cool thing.
It's very immersive. It's very well done. I don't even know if Like honestly, Dwarven Forge has a lot of employees, and we have like a lot of good camera equipment and like all this stuff. But based on the quarantine and a lot of other things, I don't know if we're able to do that as a team because that would take. I mean, it's like we're just so busy that it would take a lot of time out of a lot of people's days to a point where like it if it's not our main project, it's really hard to focus on something sometimes.
Yeah, that's like another whole thing with it is even with like we could do something like what Nerdbotchery does.
Yeah.
I
Well,
could do it. However,
yeah.
getting approval and understanding. I mean, you got to realize how hard it was to get this channel approved in the first place.
Yeah.
This was a massive pitch to even get us allowed to do the channel. And for the first several months we were doing it, I was like really nervous about whether or not we were going to get results out of it that would justify getting to continue doing it. Ultimately, it seems like they wound up being happy with it.
Really?
But to be able to do something like Nerdbotchery style, that's another thing entirely. To be able to have that kind of setup and do all that. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we could do. It's just getting them to
As a quick side note, Nate has a few minis he needs to paint. I'd really like to have him on like next available time. Like he can't do Thursdays, which sucks. So
Oh, he wants to be on this stream?
yeah, he wants to be on the stream.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. He asked me a few weeks ago. He had some miniature painting questions because he was painting stuff for a game with his kids or something.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
talking
the
about this one a
Manticore.
lot. Oh, is it the Manticores that he has to paint?
Well, when I
It's like-
talked to him, he had like a couple trolls or something.
Yeah,
But he
well,
has a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff, but like I was bullying him about it yesterday on stream because I'm just like he has stuff he wants to paint, and we have a whole show about painting, so I'm trying to get him on it. And he also is down. It's just the time is hard for him. So if we ever want
Yeah.
to do like a special on another day
Yeah.
of the week,
The scheduling thing regarding Nate has been one of the harder parts of it as well.
he's a busy guy, and he has
Yeah.
family. Turns out.
Well, with On the Anvil in particular, it's funny because the one time he's comfortable doing On the Anvil is the one time a week it's hard for me to do it. So I keep trying to find ways to do it, but like, it's just funny. The daily streams were a huge impact on my Dwarven Forge buying in Wildlands. If it wasn't for them, I probably would have just backed for a small amount and not really checked back in. Yeah, I think from an outreach standpoint, I think it was a very good thing for us, and I think it definitely played at least a part in us hitting 4 million.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think.
I agree.
It's hard to really quantify how much of an impact it had, just because it's not like we can run a control group of that Kickstarter without Twitch and Discord, but there were things that I very specifically said would be very important or would be very helpful for us to do, and I don't know. After the Kickstarter, it was kind of like a nice sigh of relief where I felt a little bit validated in everything we had spent like months setting up.
That's good.
Because I don't know. I like doing it, and there's more that I really want to do with the channel. A lot of it, though, is stuff where we're gonna have to wait for quarantine to be over, unfortunately, at least to do it in its fullest, the way that we want to do some of these shows. but we're trying to find solutions for as many of them as we can. Forful Board has been very helpful in us getting to do some semblance of D&D live games still the way that we like want to do them. Because I don't think doing Zoom games would have worked quite the same way for us. And I don't know how well those games did in terms of like getting people to buy or raise pledges, or how much it was just entertainment value for people. But I think that as a company, I think we have the potential to create a lot of like very entertaining things. And I think there's value in that. I think there's value in us doing things that aren't necessarily just about selling the product at all times.
You're here.
Well, that's why I like this stream. I was like, look, we're all actual hobbyists and gamers, so let's just do that.
Yeah. Because I think it's, especially if we're talking about like a gaming space and we talk about the kind of impact that we want to have on the space, it's very important. A very important core part of the company is that we are all people who actively use this stuff and like this stuff, and we want to encourage a healthy love of these things as well, in as many people as possible. And I think we have the potential to create a lot of content that can help with creating those kinds of environments. And I think that's I think it's worth doing that. I don't know. And then whatever, like we build that, and then you know, building the company's standing in that respect will also help with sales down the road as well. So, whatever. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
There's so many cool. Just we have
I don't
access
think
to all that
it's a bad
terrain.
thing.
Yeah. You just have so much potential to do so many cool things.
Dang, this is hard.
What are you drawing?
I went back to the Pat Benatar drawing because I wasn't happy with it, and it's
Oh.
I have to like redo the entire face.
Oh. Man, I really wish I had my
Chill, it's
yellow.
part of-
I wish I had my transparent yellow. I would love to run that over this and have like red and yellow layers. Streams allow us to share our enthusiasm for DF with others during a time that we do not get to share with our local game groups. If you had your Vortex mixer, you would not have to shake your paint like that.
Yeah, I just showed it off on the back shelf, though. Did a little vortexing, you know.
Why aren't you using it?
I don't know, I just, didn't swivel that way. There's no excuse not to, honestly.
You're getting called out, Hamster. You call yourself a professional?
Yeah, exactly. Shaking is a hard habit to break.
There's something very satisfying about it.
Yeah.
I do really enjoy shaking paints. I think I'm ready to just do washes at this point. Oh, I guess I need to do his eyes. My favorite part. Turtles basically just have black eyes, right?
I don't know,
It's like,
honestly.
you don't know about turtles, Napoleon.
Then you hit 15 and your elbow starts to hurt. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so let's take this.
What's up?
I just don't like doing eyes.
Mhm.
Let's see. Black soulless eyes. I hate the crevices, and I just kind of cover up the corners with the base skin color, and it should be alright. Black like a doll's eyes. Yeah, I think it's the best thing to get away with for this. I mean, and again, it comes back to that thing of like, they're gonna be looking at this from so far away.
You ever seen a turtle's eyes, Chief?
You haven't seen a turtle's eyes?
Turtle's eyes, all lifeless like.
Going back to the horses thing for a bit.
What about the horse thing?
About how they kind of scare me.
Oh, I see.
So I slept on the couch growing up, and my mom had this throw blanket of horses running in a field that she had pinned on the wall above the couch. And so I'd be sleeping at night. I'd get up, and when I'd wake up, I'd look up in the middle of the night, pitch dark. I'd be looking up, and it would look like when you're just looking at the blanket standing up, like normally from a distance, it just looks like horses running in the field. That's excellent. When you're laying down looking up at it, it looks like horses that are like rearing back, about to stomp on you. That might have had something to do with it.
Maybe, yeah.
Spooky.
Do they scare you because they're rural? Oof. All right.
Oh, you can say that word fine.
Rural?
Yeah. I mean, you pause a little bit, but like, think about squirrel, but without the squa.
Squirrel is different.
No.
Squirrel isn't squirrel.
No.
Squirrel only has the R. Squirrel only has the R in one. It has the R in one syllable.
Chris, please.
What?
Squirrel, rural. Squirrel, rural.
Yeah,
Rural.
it's not supposed to be rural. Rural.
Rural.
Oh my god.
You gotta mash it all into one.
No, it's not. No.
Are you an American or not?
Well, according to my grandma, no, but. Well.
What about feral rural squirrels?
Feral rural squirrels? That was awful. That was horrible.
Yeah, you said squirrel. How dare you?
What wash should I go with on the shield here?
In the UK, they say squirrel. Or like, yeah, squirrel.
Squirrel?
Something like that, because we say squirrel.
Squirrel.
Rural.
I hate this. Why are we doing this?
You're thinking rural?
I-
Because I won't get past this. I'm not done with it until we're done with it.
I'm done with it.
Okay.
There we go.
My horses are better than my Pat Benetars. And my horse is ugly.
That was a hell of a sentence. In oral rural squirrel. I hate this.
An
Your horse is pretty cute.
oral rural squirrel in a barrel?
Lori thinks your horse is cute.
Squirrel then. Oh, thank you. It's meant to look cute. It's a derpy horse. It's not good, but it's derpy, and so it has people will defend it because it's too stupid to defend itself.
Yeah, that's been like my strategy my entire life.
You know, we love you for it. I'll fight off anybody who tries to come at you. That's my dummy.
Alright, let's get these scales to stand out.
Oh wait, you don't have the mini feed this week either, Chris. I'm only
No,
sad because I do want to see how
I
it's
was
going.
feeling like it wasn't really doing the job I wanted it to do. I felt like you weren't actually really getting a very good look at the mini, and I would probably get just as much from just highlighting it on the webcam here. If I'm wrong, I can start doing it again next week. It's not hard.
What's the keyboard look like?
Right now, it's just cycling between all the colors.
Nice.
Doing a twirl and a whirl, of course. I hate this, man.
You can say twirl and whirl, fine.
Again, the problem is the R to the R sound. It's the fact that rural is 2 R syllables in a row. That's the problem.
With a little blip in the middle. I get it. I know why you have that because I also, after I thought about it, I was like, I'm saying it weird now, but
Yeah.
Wargaming Recon has faith in you.
Don't know why. Don't know why they thought of that. Whoever came up with that word.
Hamster,
What? What do you say?
say rural.
Rural.
Say rural.
Rural.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
he does it better,
but
I think it's because of his...
I hit R's super hard, so I'm all about the R's.
That's why it works. It works for people who live in rural
Rural. Yeah. There you go. Guttural. There's another one. David B. Moffat says guttural.
It's a word by the rural for the rural.
See, you can say it. You got it. Guttural? Wait, what's wrong with guttural?
I'm from Boston. What's this R of which you speak? Nice.
Nice. Well, how would somebody from Boston say rural? I guess they just wouldn't. So yeah, let's get these washes done.
Get this armpit hair done.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we got my spear dwarf. What are you painting over there again, Chris?
I'm painting a turtle. This guy, if it'll focus. So, doing that. Basing him off the yellow-bellied tortoise, so I gotta do the, stripes on his head soon. Which is actually gonna be very difficult.
And we got Mace Drawing and Procreate. An
Oh, yeah.
alligator horse.
No, I finished that one. I'm
Oh.
back to that because I am determined to make it less deformed. As is every good doctor.
Let's see.
Oh, did either of you buy the new Xbox
No.
or PS?
I'm probably gonna hold off this generation
Not about
of
it.
consoles.
Yeah, I'm not particularly interested in either of them, honestly. Like, so far, nothing has, like, gripped my attention in terms of, like, oh yeah, I need to play this not on PC, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Not
If
a
I
whole
didn't
lot
have
of
my PC, I would, but
Probably
See,
the
that's why I'm like. For a second there, I was gonna get a new gaming system, most likely the Nintendo Switch, but then there's a lot of games that I want to play that wouldn't be on Switch, so I almost got a new system, but I really should just get a PC.
A Switch and a PC is basically all you need. If you're looking at...
I need both?
Well, because Nintendo games aren't on PC.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
But, like, there's very few exclusives on Sony or Microsoft anymore. And, you know, if there's a couple that are, like, must-haves for you, then, you know, that's one thing. But
No, I genuinely, I enjoy video games and everything. I don't follow them super closely to the point where it's like on the day that it comes out, I'm like, okay, I'm in line, I'm buying it. I just would, there's like a few games that I really would like to be able to play, and like, it's very hard to.
here we got a question. Hamster, how'd you do the glowing eyes in your skeletons the other week, trying to get a similar effect on the bone dragon? So what I did is, in the deepest part that's the brightest, like the source of the glow, kind of in the actual eye socket back there, I paint white or ivory. And then I took that fuchsia pink color and I just thinned it down with water or medium. And I kind of built up a couple layers on the white until I got the brightest part that I want to be as bright as I want it, and just focusing on the core, and then on the surrounding area, in this case mostly the edges of the socket where there isn't any white, I just did a little bit of glazing with that thinned down pink to sort of get it like fading out, but it's not as bright because the white isn't underneath it. So basically just
How did you,
What's that?
how do you do jewel shines too? Sorry, like, finish.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Just the brightest part, start with white so that it really brightens it up underneath, and then do even small. So the key with like a glow or an object source lighting or something is that anywhere that you paint that's not the source of the light has to be not as bright as a source. So just make sure it gets thinner and thinner as you paint outside of the source, and less is more with that, because you can always add more. So like I could have done a little glow on like that fold of the cloak, but don't do that off the bat. Just go further and further out, and then go back and increase the brightness so you have those levels. The jewels, you kind of just have to like, it helps to just look at like how the light is behaving, because it kind of refracts differently. Like it goes through the jewel. Normally on a surface, light hits like the top edge if the source is at the top of you, right? But in a jewel, it like goes through it and reflects like on the bottom, kind of around the rim. So basically it's similar, where you're just like adding a spot. So how a jewel works, you have the curve, right? And so kind of in that moon shape, you're gonna have sort of not almost a mid-tone, or like a second highlight. That's the majority of the curve, and that's where the light is reflecting. But the brightest part, that's almost white, is the dot. That's where the light is entering the jewel. So that's actually at the top, and it's a pinpoint, because then it's spreading out and reflecting off the bottom curve. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's like how like light goes through a prism, but you
Yeah.
just paint like
So
whites.
so yeah. So paint it dark, and then paint sort of a gradient of the base color, and you kind of will have two highlights. One is that reflection that's around the bottom curve, around almost the whole thing, and then the laser point where the light is entering, that's at the top.
I hear you.
Yeah, Merc, when thinning paints, just start with a small amount of water. In general, with a lot of things, you'll learn that you need way less moisture on your brush, and way less paint even, too. My rule of thumb is never have so much paint that, like, see how this brush tip has no paint on it and you can see the shape of it? If the amount of paint is changing the shape of the brush, like there's a bulb of paint, you have too much. You can even wipe it off on your skin, because there's a little bit of, sometimes when I'm holding the model, I'll dab it off on my skin just because it grabs just enough of the moisture but leaves enough on there. You can do it on your paper towel too. But yeah, so let's see. These are ink, so they're just really thin in general too, but this is like some acrylic. And I just do it gradually. So I'm not dunking it and putting it right into the paint. I'm actually letting most of it soak off on the paper towel, and then gradually pulling it until I get the consistency that I want. I just pull it out, add a little more, do the same thing. But I never am just dunking a whole brush. I'm never just dunking a whole brush of water into there.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh my gosh. It's 8:05 already. I haven't looked at the time once. I've just been painting and painting and painting.
That's because it's
Nice.
fun, man.
Made it. It's fun. It's the highlight of my week.
It really is.
Yeah, I have a good time with these.
Ooh, one thing I do want to say, I got a new game called Fiasco, and I
What is
think both
that?
of you would be very good at it. So sometime this week we should, or this, in sometime in the near future we should play it.
Sure.
Aha, I win.
Okay. So, this was interesting. I tried to freehand stripes onto him
Nice.
to make him a yellow-bellied tortoise.
Whoa, cool.
A dark green base, and then
That looks sweet. That pops.
all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Trying to figure out if there's anything else I need to do on this one. I think actually doing a dry brush here. Before I get too late, I'd like to thank you guys for streaming tonight. I normally do not get to attend this one since I live in Vegas and work until 5:30 Pacific time on Thursdays. Oh man, well thanks for coming by.
Yeah, glad you can make it.
We enjoy doing this. We know it's not the most popular of the streams on this channel, but it's a fun, kind of relaxing time. It's something we
Yeah.
enjoy doing.
Honestly, it's hard though, like for any stream to beat our mukbang streams. Those are our most popular. So.
Yeah. All people want to do is watch us eat. Like,
I love how relaxed it is.
mean,
I
that's
love
all
hearing
I
that.
want to do. So like, I'll keep giving. Yeah, it's nice.
yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
I
trying to-
stopped on your joke because I was trying to answer an actual comment. But
Oh.
I don't know. Feel free to stomp on all jokes.
well, I'm glad
do
it
wanna
feels
know-
relaxed because that's kind of what we set out for this one. At least that's why I like it to be laid back, you know.
Yeah, we've been talking about like ways to try and improve it as well. Hence the music this time, and
Yeah.
talking about potentially bringing some guests
We're-
on and all that.
Or Gaming Recon says, here's a question. Licking brushes. Do you lick them and why?
Hamster does.
Yeah, I
I
do
do too.
sometimes. It's
It gives you a point that water just can't. Like you can form the brush in your mouth.
yeah, it's just kind of like your spit is thicker than water, so it will kind of like
Yeah, it's that old saying, you know?
yeah, spit is thicker than water exactly.
It is thicker than water.
So it just kind of like forms the we're just talking about the level of moisture in your brush, and if you dunk a brush in your water cup, there's just so much water in it, and so your spit gives you that perfect amount of moisture that's also has some thickness to it. So I don't know, I made it a habit because it's quicker too because you're holding like things so close to you often, right? So it's just like right there instead of reaching to your cup. Realistically, you don't got to do it.
You
But-
should get a third cup that's just full of mouthwash, so it goes like paint wash, regular water, mouthwash, and then like do that.
There you go.
I don't think that sterilizes it or makes it safe, but you know, if your dentist complains, you can tell them that you use it daily.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Doc?
It's very Marty McFly. Yeah, I think the real reason people lick their brushes is that they just like the taste. But they try to explain it away by saying like, "Oh, it helps you make a point" and all that stuff. But really,
Call me out.
yeah. Really, they just love the taste of paint.
Good stuff.
You gotta get those scented markers.
I think this one is great. Even though there's not as much chatting, it's really nice to sit with others who are painting and work on our stuff, just enjoying each other's company. That's a general idea, and that's why we post everything in the Discord afterwards and all that stuff. It's a community building thing. More so than like we're showing off like a specific tutorial on a set or something. Drop that stuff in. We're all good there. Who am I getting messages from? It's my friend's birthday tonight, so he's doing a big Among Us stream. He's got like 20 of us in a room.
Oh,
Cool.
man.
Just like cycling in and out. So I don't know if I'm actually gonna get to play tonight because I'm gonna default to other people most likely. But basically going straight from this stream to his.
Should we call it?
No.
Okay.
He's got, like I said, he's got like 20 people in there. He'll be alright.
How old's your friend, Chris?
I think like 25? I don't actually know. He's younger 20s though. He's younger than me. God, I'm almost 29.
Yeah, same.
God.
Wargaming Recon says, "Oh my, so young."
Still young. Yeah, that's fine. I was supposed to be successful by 25, so
Yeah,
here I
right.
am, 29. And I don't know. Well, 28, but I don't get it. Like I'm supposed to have like a massive career by this point.
Right, exactly.
What am I doing?
You're all still young spring chickens. Thank God. I needed that. Needed to hear that.
The doc.
Man,
Old
Washes are
Hamster?
cheating.
What's that?
Are you feeling old?
Oh, yeah. Well, just within the acting stuff,
good.
right?
Oh, no, you're fine. You said washes are cheating?
Yeah, washes are cheating.
What?
I use them.
Washes aren't cheating. They're a life hack. No. Washes are like signing up for automatic payments instead of writing a check and mailing it each month. It's not cheating. It's just like the system work for you.
Which is cheating.
Nope.
Doing anything successfully is cheating.
Okay.
Don't always struggle.
I'm not even 30 and I threw my back out on Sunday. Yeah, I've been making some odd noises from very minimal movements.
Eek.
Whoa, man. Past our prime, we've done it.
Wait, you youngsters know what checks are?
Oh yeah, I remember getting a checkbook and then never using it because everything moved to online payments. If washers are cheating, what is dry brushing? I don't know. I'm really bad at knowing when to dry brush and how to dry brush, so I couldn't really tell you. But man, I sure do know how to dunk something in a container of wash.
Jimmy Hayes says, is that like paper Venmo?
I like the colors you picked for the shield, Hamster.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Very, very good.
I
Boy,
think
it matches the beard.
Yeah, it actually has the same yellow across a couple things, and then I washed a little extra yellow in there. But I want the shield. It's such a big surface. I wanted to have something interesting on it, but still look all dirty up.
Well, the fish are interesting enough. Well, honestly, I'm a big old fish fan. But yeah, I think the color choice is actually like it's not one of those palettes that is like readily or like easily chosen or whatever, but those colors look really well together and they make it pop. I like this. This is good.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was
$5.
before we started, I was kind of agonizing over what am I going to do on the shield.
The shield ended up being like the anchor of that piece, honestly.
Yeah, that's why I was. Yeah.
Looks like a door.
Like a door? It kind of does, doesn't it? He just picked up a door and slapped some fish on it.
Yep. Classic door.
I need to play Squadrons, man.
Heck yeah.
Had it installed for weeks. I need to plug in my headset and play it. Like.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a little bit, but that's super fun.
Maybe I'll try to do it this weekend. Ugh. I also want to play some more war games, though. Dude, I played some chess on Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it was after a game of Secret Hitler. 4 of us were left online, and we were wanting to, like, still play some stuff. So I was like, man, I remember playing chess. And it turns out 3 of us had played chess before. So we split up into 2 teams of 2. We were going to, like, take turns moving our pieces. Turns out I got the guy who never actually learned how to play chess. So we got off to a bad start very early on. Became a big problem. And the end of the game was fantastic. It was me maneuvering, getting checked like 5 times in a row and moving pieces around. And they were so busy putting me in check that they didn't realize that I was setting up... So he eventually gave up and just like stopped moving pieces, and he's just like, "You just do it," because he like felt bad. He like felt bad because he's like, "I genuinely don't know what I'm doing here." And yeah, so I set up. I wish I had it recorded, because I felt like an actual genius, but like I managed to like surprise checkmate them out of nowhere while they were chasing me around checking me.
That's
And
awesome.
I'd lost like half of my actual pieces, and they were only missing like a bishop. It was
That's
very
sweet.
fun. I love chess, man.
Yeah, I was really into chess.
I played it a
for a
lot
while.
when I was younger, and then I moved out here and I didn't have anybody to play it with.
I didn't learn it super well because I also had Magic and Warhammer, and I basically just chose those 2. But I was reading books and stuff and like studying matches for a little bit.
I like did a tournament when I was in middle school. Did like the state tournament and came in 4th. And,
Oh, nice.
I was really excited. So my family found out I liked chess because I did that tournament. And so then that year for Christmas, I got 5 chess sets because I need 5 chess sets.
Right.
And then I moved to New York and I didn't have anybody to play chess with. And yeah, I don't know.
Down by NYU, I only know this because I would go to the store where they had Magic tournaments, but right across there's like a whole chess club down there.
That's excellent. I want to go to like Union Square once, the pandemic's over. I want to go to Union Square and play chess there.
Yeah, I've always been curious about that too.
It's seems fun. But I'm nervous because like I remember the basics. I remember forking. I remember skewering, pinning, all that stuff. But man, in terms of like being able to read the openings and know like, being able to know like what opening somebody was going with based off their first move and all that, I've lost like so much of that. Just because it's been like literally 10 years since I played, at least.
DMN Games asks, Hamster, you play Magic the Gathering?
Like the whole office does.
Oh yeah, I was super into it for a while. I did a few like qualifiers and stuff. Not quite big tournaments, but big-ish local qualifying stuff. But yeah, most of my life I've been painting miniatures and playing Magic. I haven't played in a while because pandemic and everything, but nowadays I mostly just draft. I'm not. I got really into Modern for a while. I had some Commander stuff. Well, I started with Standard F&M, but then I would regularly do drafting at F&M, and now I haven't played in a little bit. But
I've never played Commander.
Commander's probably the most fun, just because it's like all the big goofy stuff that you can't play in the competitive stuff. It's just
Yeah, I heard like the gist behind it, and I was like, that sounds so fun.
Yeah, and just the deck building for that is super fun too.
Wasn't the deck building just whatever you want?
Well, right, but just like
You can only have one of each, right?
yeah, well, you can only have one of each. So sometimes like you want a certain type of effect multiple times, so you have to find the weird copies that exist that you've like never heard of.
Yeah. I didn't know Magic until this year, and then I started playing Arena,
Oh, nice, yeah.
so I picked it up there. I'm a blue-white guy.
Ooh, you're already playing like a pro then.
Oh, is that the pro?
Are you doing like tricksy counter spells and like tempo stuff, like bouncing their stuff and everything?
Yeah, I do a lot of bouncing. I do a lot of like figuring out what their win condition is and then letting them get into their win condition and then just like letting them play it and then like, okay, that's gone now. You can't.
Yeah.
Basically, like saving my stuff and waiting for them to play their hand, more or
Right.
less.
Right.
And then they play it, and it's like, okay, now you're just gonna slowly die.
Yes.
Because now you've used up like what you thought was gonna win you the game. And
That's such a rewarding way to play, and like it sucks to play against, but like I've stabilized with blue white with like 1 life, and then I just like draw all my stuff, and yeah.
that like by far that's the deck that I get most people to like rage quit with because when I win so slow, and it's one of those things where like they can see it coming, but they're like, this is like 20 turns away.
Oh yeah.
And so they just leave. Like they're like, I'd just be waiting here to lose.
I also do blue white. Like that's my go-to as well.
Well, now I gotta play something else. I do like green a lot. Green's a lot of fun. Blue white is the only thing that I really got deep in experimenting with though, and actually like building decks of. So I want to play around with green more.
Yeah, green white was my classic.
Red and black should both be removed from the game, I think. If you play red or black,
a lot of aggro.
You're a bad person. I think it's the main thing.
That's where you got to start though. You're like going really fast, and
also like that's pretty.
Red and black never jive for me.
You're turning creatures sideways. You're playing lightning bolts and just burning them to death or killing their stuff. A lot of people start there, but I started with green and just playing really big creatures. Or actually, what I did is I would make a bunch of plant tokens, and just make like 100 of them, and then beef them up really big. That was when I was like 10. That was my big deck.
I can see why red would be like the good starter deck because it's super straightforward.
It's straightforward, yeah.
But it never vibed with me.
No, I mean once you kind of win a few games with red, you want to move on. What do you say, Mace?
This song's so
good. I think green is easy to start with.
Oh yeah, you just play big bodies, yeah.
I completely forgot about this. Hard Drive by Evan Dando. Fantastic song. I haven't heard it in like months, but I was obsessed with this song for a while. Green Earl of Squirrels deck is so fun. So many squirrels. I haven't seen that at all. Yeah, green. I really like green just in terms of like how much it's about building up your dudes. Like, big buff decks are a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah, I've heard of this spell table thing. I haven't gotten to try it yet, but it sounds cool.
Is it like a remote?
Yeah, it's like playing Paper Magic remote with like a webcam.
Okay. Man, could you imagine if they got full Magic the Gathering support on Vorpal?
That'd be cool.
Amazing.
I was talking to them. I did a support group for them last weekend. And I was like, look, man, you guys got to get just like a full deck of cards in here.
Yeah.
Just like a deck of cards that everybody can try. Because like the way that Tabletop Simulator does it is like perfect, honestly. Just having a system where like you can draw a card and only you can see it.
Yeah, right.
Having like a hand space and all that. good stuff. Man. Remember when we played Gun and Slinger?
Yes, that was very fun.
That was a lot of fun. We played
I bought that.
You did?
Like the Kickstarter, yeah.
I was hoping some people did, because that was the whole point, was they had like 24 hours left on their Kickstarter. And I was like, yeah, let's get a game going. I hope at least a couple people bought it off it. We didn't have a ton of viewers, but I DM'd for Hamster and Miles for a game of Gun and Slinger, which is it's a DM and 2 players only. I guess you probably can try to make it more if you want, but it's designed to be 2 players and a DM. And basically, all you need is a deck of cards. And you basically, instead of rolling for things, you play blackjack to like determine success on stuff. It's pretty cool. And it's like a collaborative. It's like a very collaborative storytelling thing too. I enjoy it a lot. I like to mess with it.
Yeah, but you can like spend cards, extra cards, to like sort of twist fate, and like it's not just straight blackjack. You can kind of influence the result if you're desperate or something or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do, and it's free form enough that you just kind of adapt it to you go for like whatever you think is gonna be cool for the game, basically. And like I went pretty far off the rails on what I had planned for the session when we played, because you guys started moving it in a direction that I didn't expect, but I thought was more interesting than what I had planned.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. The first half was pretty close to what I expected. The second half was almost entirely like flying by the seat of my pants, making it up as we I had not planned on this thing turning into like a Godzilla.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, they would make a Magic Online that wasn't terrible. I really like Arena. Does Arena not function well? I thought it worked well.
Well, right now it sucks that there's so few sets on it.
Oh, I guess yeah. Well, doesn't it update with? Did they basically only start with like the cards that were like the cards at the time, and then they updated it every time a new set came out?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Every time a new pack comes out.
Yeah, basically when it launched, it was only that set.
So they don't have all the ones.
No, but the thing about actual Magic Online is you like basically have to buy singles just like you would in paper.
Interesting.
I was super hardcore Magic Online for a while too. I was really into Pauper, which is only commons. So you could for, you know, the price of a competitive deck in Standard, you could get like all of the competitive decks. And the meta was really interesting because there was so like the cards that were powerful and commons were different than, you know, of all of the prints.
You can do Commander on Arena, can't you?
I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna bring it to that if you can.
I think you can specifically build Commander decks.
Oh wow.
I think somebody you can do.
Oh, you can do Brawl. Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's Commander rules. Oh, 60 card Commander. Okay, so you just can't do the 100 card. No, Eli's really into Magic. He's wanting to play it. Basically, whenever he comes into the office, he wants to play Magic whenever he's there, and so he hasn't been able to actually come into the office for a while.
He also works for Magic.
He does.
Yeah, he writes some of the flavor text or the card names and stuff.
Man. Brawl is standard legal. Friendly Brawl is historic legal. Man, all that stuff is gibberish to me. I'm still very new to Magic. I do actually have... I want to build a physical deck. Somebody in my building has given away... Has, like, left in boxes hundreds of Magic cards.
Really?
Labeled free fun card game. And so... And so we saw them, and Tyler and I was like, let's not take... There's somebody who needs these cards more. And we left them for a day. Came back the next... I think it was like 2 days later. They were still sitting there, and it's like, all right, if nobody else wants them, like, I'll take them. Like, whatever. But they're not built in decks at all. But there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of lands. So, like, it's... You can make a real deck out of it. I just got to sort through all of it. And there's a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah. I think the main problem is I don't know enough about what cards are out there that I can't anticipate what a lot of stuff is. I really only know the cards that were a big deal for the couple months that I was playing Arena a lot.
Yeah.
Like, man, the one that was the one that was all about making food and like killing like a graveyard cat. It was like a black deck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Make like food tokens and stuff. That was I hated that. I really like the Dream Trawler though.
Oh, Dream Trawler's cool.
Because
Yeah.
I'm a blue-white pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I love the Dream Trawler. Cat plus oven. Yep, that's it. Historic equals all sets that were on Arena. Hi, Gamer Bun. How are you doing? We're probably wrapping up here pretty soon, but
Yeah.
no reason not to hang out.
Did my audio feed cut out, or are we just being quiet?
Just being quiet. Just checking stuff.
Moment of silence for the boys. F's in chat for the boys.
Oh, get an F in chat. Oh man. Tough cookies. I'm listening to so much good music and I just want to talk about all the music, but nobody else can hear it and we can't play it.
Is that some edge highlighting going on, Hamster? Asks Jimmy.
Man, the
Yes.
extra shine getting off it. What metallics are you using?
My favorites. Okay. Vallejo Metal Color is my favorite. It's actually an airbrush paint, but it's so thin but also highly pigmented, so the coverage is insane. And especially if you throw in some regular paint a little bit on the brush, oh man, it's one coat, baby. One coat.
It's actually just like shining realistically, like very well, and it's blowing my mind.
Yeah,
Because the metallics that I have don't shine nearly that well.
Well, this is the thing. You gotta still, with metallics, you gotta still do the
Highlight.
shadows and the highlights. So I based it in the silver. So for instance, on the helmet, I don't quite have it on the shield yet, but I did the silver base coat in a dark silver, and I put washes on it to get it dark. Then I did sort of a gunmetal silver here and there. I did a silver, bright silver, and then the brightest points, just straight up white paint. Straight up dots of white paint for the brightest around the rim there, and on the little nubs, it's just straight up white, which makes it look reflective.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I noticed that you even have the bolts in like the helmet and the armor kind of like dotted in white to make
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, it looks great.
That's something I learned recently. I was like, screw it. I'm not even using metallic paint. I'm just going all the way up to white and selectively. And oh man, I'll never not do it again on metals. I love it.
Hot tip.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to keep working on that guy, but that might be it for the stream. I'll have to post the final result in Discord or something, but I want to keep picking away at him.
Also, everybody that's watching and painting at the same time, you guys should post your results as well.
Yeah, definitely. Here, put the Discord link up in the chat.
I should probably get some of those metallics before I start doing my BattleTech stuff, huh?
Yeah, if you're going for a lot of metallics, I mean, especially if you have a lot to paint, this stuff just covers well. You're not going to have a metallic paint that covers in fewer coats, doesn't get all gloppy, doesn't take a million coats, and looks better because it's airbrush thin. Like the metallic, so metallic paints have actual like metal flakes in there, or like mineral flakes, and they end up kind of being big and chunky in some of them, but because it's thin for the airbrush, they somehow like you don't see big giant flakes in it. It just looks really smooth. So highly recommend that brand. Yeah, definitely post that Dragon in the Discord. Been putting dummy hours into it. I feel you, man. So, what's coming up on in Streamland?
On the Anvil and Hobby Hang next week.
Awesome.
The only real plans.
Cool.
We've got Felipe coming on the Anvil next month, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Trying to plan some other like special episodes. We're trying to get Thad on from Vorpal Board to talk specifically about ways that you can, optimize like playing your games remotely, whether it's with Vorpal or without Vorpal. But a couple other things.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Tough Cookie edition of Hamster's Hobby Hang.
It's been the toughest and the most delicious.
So please post whatever you're hobbying in our Discord to join us for On the Anvil. And of course, every Thursday at 6, Hamster Hobby Hang. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night. See you later.
Thursday 6. Bye.
Bye.